Have you ever noticed that every time you bite into a sweet piece of fruit, it feels like your blood sugar jumps right away? You're definitely not the only one. In fact, so many Americans, especially folks over 50, have heard the same warning over and over again. Stay away from sweet fruits. The sweeter they taste, the more dangerous they are. But here's something you might not have heard before. Some naturally sweet fruits can actually help keep your blood sugar steady. Not just safe, but truly helpful. It might sound surprising, but I've seen it work time and time again. There are fruits ones you've probably passed by in the grocery store 100 times. That cost just a few bucks a pound and may quietly support your blood sugar every single day. Now here's what makes this really special. These fruits are sweet. They're juicy. They're the kind of thing you can snack on without guilt. And they might just make you feel better from head to toe. I'm Dr. Linda Carver. For more than 20 years, I've worked with adults across the country, especially those over 40, helping them understand how food can either drain your energy or bring it back to life. And today, I want to share something that's helped hundreds of people I've worked with. It's simple, it's gentle, and it starts with just 2 fruits. They're easy to find, easy to enjoy, and surprisingly friendly for people dealing with blood sugar ups and downs. Yes, these fruits are sweet, but that sweetness doesn't come from added sugar. It comes from nature. And instead of sending your insulin levels through the roof, these fruits give you hydration, natural fiber, and a nice steady kind of energy. Some even help you sleep better at night. Some make your digestion smoother. And many people say they simply feel lighter after making them part of their routine. I know it may sound the opposite of what you've been told in a doctor's office before, but that's the thing. Old advice told us to avoid anything sweet if we had diabetes, even the sweetness that grows on trees. And that fear of fruit, of flavor, has made many people more confused than ever. But I'm here to invite you to step away from that fear. If you've been searching for something simple, something natural, something that doesn't feel like a chore or a sacrifice, you're in the right place. Because these 2 fruits might just become your new favorites. Whether you're managing diabetes, trying to drop a few pounds, or simply wanting to feel better as you move through the day. So take a deep breath. Whether you're sitting in your kitchen, walking the dog, or just winding down for the night, this is your moment. Because health isn't about being perfect. It's about making one small choice and repeating it day after day until your body says, thank you. If you've made it this far and something about this message speaks to you, why not share it with someone you care about? Because fruit isn't the enemy. We just have to know which ones to choose and how to eat them with care. Now let's talk about 2 sweet, guilt-free fruits that doctors and patients across the country are quietly adding to their everyday lives. 2. Imagine this. It's a sunny afternoon. You've just finished a short walk outside. Maybe you were watering the garden or simply getting a little fresh air. You come inside, feeling the warmth still on your skin. You open the fridge, and there it is, a clear glass bowl filled with chilled, juicy cantaloupe. The scent hits you first. Sweet, fresh, calming. You take one bite, cool and soft, and somehow you feel better right away. Now, if you're living with diabetes or trying to keep your blood sugar steady, you might have been told to avoid fruits like cantaloupe. Too sweet, they say. Too risky. But that's not the whole story. Cantaloupe is one of those quiet foods that doesn't shout for attention, but has more to offer than most people realize. It's made up of over 90% water. Just one small cup, that's about 5 ounces, can give your body a nice boost of hydration, something many folks overlook, especially in warmer weather or dry indoor air. And when you're older, staying hydrated isn't just about thirst. It helps your joints feel better, keeps your energy up, and may even help with headaches and that worn-out feeling that sneaks in mid-afternoon. Cantaloupe is also gentle on digestion. It's got just enough fiber to help things move smoothly, without causing gas or discomfort. Take it slow, one bite at a time. Let the texture and taste remind you that eating can still be a simple pleasure, not just another rule to follow. Now here's the big question. What about sugar? Yes, cantaloupe is sweet, but it's a natural kind of sweet, the kind your body knows how to handle. Unlike a donut or a sugary soda, The sugar in cantaloupe comes along with water, fiber, and real nutrients. So it doesn't hit your bloodstream all at once. It gives you a lift, not a spike. I've worked with many adults who were afraid to eat fruit. Then they added a few small servings of cantaloupe to their week, and they felt the difference. They had fewer cravings for junk food, less bloating, and in some cases, even better sleep. That might be because cantaloupe also has potassium and magnesium. They're small players, but important. They help your heart, ease muscle cramps, and support restful sleep. Even your circulation gets a little help. I remember one gentleman telling me, "My ankles stopped swelling after just 4 mornings of cantaloupe." Was it magic? No, it was care. Simple, steady care. Here are a few ways you can enjoy cantaloupe every day. Scoop a small bowl in the morning and add a sprinkle of cinnamon. Blend it with cucumber and mint for a cool, sugar-free smoothie. Pair it with a few walnuts or a slice of cheese for a satisfying snack. Or just cut it up, store it in a container, and keep it cold in your fridge. So the next time you want something sweet, you already have a better choice waiting for you. A whole melon usually costs about $2 or $3 at most stores. So it's affordable. It's not trendy. It's just kind. That's really what it comes down to. Cantaloupe is a kind fruit. Gentle, honest, and easy to love if you give it the chance. It's a little reminder that sweetness isn't always something to fear. Sometimes, it's something to welcome back into your life. 3. There are certain things in life that are small, easy to overlook, but carry more power than they let on. Plums are one of those things. They sit quietly in the produce section, tucked in beside the more popular fruits. They're not as showy as watermelon, not as trendy as blueberries, and they don't get the same attention as apples or bananas. But what if I told you? This modest little fruit might be one of the best-kept secrets for folks living with diabetes. Let me share a story with you. A few years back, I met a woman named Nancy. She was 67, living just outside of Savannah, Georgia. Every morning, she followed a simple habit. She'd slice one small plum, stir it into a few spoonfuls of oats, add a bit of plain yogurt, and enjoy it slowly at her kitchen table. She didn't expect miracles. She just liked how it made her feel. But after a couple of months, she smiled and told me, "Doc, I don't feel so heavy in the mornings anymore. My ankles aren't puffy like before, and I sleep through the night better now." I wasn't surprised, because research and real-life experience back her up. You see, plums may be small, but they pack a surprising punch. Even though they're sweet, their natural sugars come with fiber and a good blend of plant-based nutrients. That combination helps slow down the way sugar enters your system. So instead of giving you that sugar high and crash, like a cookie or a slice of cake might, plums give you steady, gentle energy. If you eat just 1 or 2 a day, about 3 to 5 ounces total, you might start to notice a difference in how your body feels. And if you leave the skin on, you'll get even more fiber. That fiber supports digestion, which becomes more important as we age. Let's face it, our systems just don't move quite as fast as they used to. And here's something else that caught my attention. Plums contain plant compounds called polyphenol. Now, don't worry about the word. All you need to know is these little helpers can ease inflammation in your body. So if you ever wake up with mild stiffness in your knees, or notice your joints ache after sitting for a while, that may be tied to low-grade inflammation. And plums may help quiet that down slowly, gently over time. But that's not all. Each plum brings a little magnesium, potassium, and vitamin C to the table. These 3 are like a team that works behind the scenes, helping your muscles relax, your mood lift, and your sleep deepen. In fact, if you've ever had leg cramps in the early morning, you know, the kind that pull you out of bed, adding plums to your weekly routine might help ease them. There are also so many ways to enjoy plums that don't feel like health food. You can slice them up, sprinkle a little cinnamon and lemon juice, and warm them in the oven until they're soft. That's a dessert right there without the guilt. Or pair them with a small handful of walnuts. The combination of healthy fat and natural fruit sugar helps balance things out, so your blood sugar stays more steady after your snack. Some people like to mix plum slices with Greek yogurt and oats for a light breakfast. Others freeze them in Ziploc bags, then blend into a refreshing ice when the weather's hot. You don't need a lot. Each plum weighs under 6 ounces, around 170 grams. That's enough to do some good without overdoing it. And guess what? You won't need to spend a fortune. A pound of fresh plums usually goes for $2 to $3 in most grocery stores. They're in season during the warmer months. But even outside of summer, you can often find dried or frozen plums as well. Now here's something that may surprise you. As we get older, especially women past 60, the risk of losing bone strength becomes very real. And studies now suggest that plums may help slow down that bone loss. Not cure it, not reverse it, but slow it down. That's a quiet kind of power for such a small fruit. You might think of it this way. Every time you take a bite of a plum, you're giving your body a gentle nudge in the right direction. Not with pills, not with restriction, but with something simple, natural, and kind. And kindness matters, especially when it comes to how we treat our bodies as we age. So the next time you pass by that little pile of plums at the store, don't walk on by. Pick one up. Bring it home. Let it remind you that even the smallest things, when chosen with care, can make a difference. Living with diabetes doesn't mean giving up the joys of flavor. It just means choosing foods that love you back. And plums? They've been doing that quietly all along. For when we think about staying healthy, it's easy to picture big changes. Strict diets, long workouts, pills lined up on the kitchen counter. But the truth is, real health often begins with something much smaller. Like a cool bowl of melon on a warm morning, a soft, juicy plum in the afternoon, a moment to pause and check in with how your body feels. These simple moments, they may seem small, but over time, they can shape the way you live and feel each day. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't have to follow a perfect plan. You just need to start where you are, with what feels doable, and keep showing up in a way that's kind to yourself. If you're living with diabetes, or even if you're just trying to eat a little cleaner, there's one thing I hope you take away from this. Fruit is not the enemy. Not when it's chosen with care. Not when you pay attention to how it makes you feel. And not when it fits naturally into your day. Cantaloupe and plums are great examples. They're sweet, refreshing, and gentle on your body. They don't ask you to give anything up. They simply offer something good in return. A few slices of plum instead of a cookie. A bowl of melon with mint instead of a can of soda. These choices add comfort, not stress. And they help your body move through the day with more ease. The world is full of loud nutrition advice. One day something's healthy. The next day it's not. And before you know it, you're left feeling confused or even guilty. But I want you to remember this. You don't need to get it all right. You just need to be honest with your body and give it something gentle, something that feels like a real part of your life. Because good health doesn't come from pressure. It comes from peace, from small habits that feel good enough to do again tomorrow. So if fruit has felt like something you shouldn't eat, try giving it another chance. Not with rules, not with guilt, just with curiosity. Notice how you feel after that bowl of melon in the morning. See what happens when you reach for plum instead of something processed. Keep track if you'd like. Write it down. Make a little note in your phone. Not for anyone else, just for you. And if this message speaks to you, if it reminds you of something you want to do or share, feel free to leave a note. Even just a simple word like melon or plum, because someone out there might be looking for a quiet reminder that they're not alone. We're all learning, all figuring out what works for our bodies, our routines, and our lives. And you don't have to do it all today. You just have to begin with one thing, one choice, one piece of fruit. Because sometimes the smallest step can start a beautiful new path. And maybe, just maybe, a sweet little plum or a cool bite of melon is all you need to get started.